The time now is 7:50. You're listening to BBC Radio Norfolk with Kate Brewster. With a lockdown in place once again, it's more important than ever that we find new ways of staying connected with each other. And if we can keep our minds active at the same time, that's an added bonus. A new wellbeing hub with a focus on creativity has just launched in an old Methodist Chapel in Great Cressingham near Watton when the new lockdown came into place, but they have swiftly moved online. Geraldine, Alan and Sarah Rodgers are on the line now to tell us more about the Hive. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kate.
Thanks for being with us this morning. What's the idea behind the Hive and how did it all begin?
It began because Sarah and I, as you were saying, we're both professional musicians, and we've long had an interest in combining spiritual things and music, which are all quite natural anyway. And we've been doing something called Music for Body, Mind and Soul. And then, of course, with lockdown, everything stopped. And then we started to make videos, and we realised how important music is for people's well-being. And the opportunity came along when this lovely, beautiful little chapel in Great Cressingham, which is no longer used for worship, but still owned by the Methodist Church, and we said, can we use this for a place for spirituality and creativity and well-being? And so we had a launch, we were planning it during the autumn. We had a launch in December, and of course, bit by bit, everything closed down on us as we started. Originally we were going to be inside, and then we had to come outside. But in the end, we had an outside show, Sarah, didn't we?
We did. And if I can tell you a bit about it, Kate, we wanted to tell the Christmas story. So originally we hoped we could do a live nativity, but as Geraldine said, that became impossible because of the restrictions. So what we did was create a sonne lumière with lots of music and lights along one length of the building. And we invited people from the village. And we had about 50 people who came to 3 different shows telling the Christmas story. And I think there were something like 14 or 15 kids there as well. So this was just the most wonderful way of launching the Hive and letting people know that we were going to be developing something very special for creativity, spirituality and well-being there in their village.
Oh, lovely. Well done for rolling with the punches. That wasn't a very easy time to be starting, but it sounds like you really did pull off something very special to kind of start with a bang. So well done for that. Yeah, a lot of challenges. And it has an ethos of creativity behind it. Why is that so important to you both? How do you believe creativity can promote well-being and help people cope?
We have spent our lives in and around creativity, being professional musicians, but it's really interesting because a lot of studies have been commissioned around this topic. And actually a couple of years ago, BBC Arts commissioned what they called the Great British Creativity Test, where they questioned 50,000 people about the impact of creativity in their lives. And it's so appropriate for this situation that we find ourselves in today, because some of the outcomes were that creativity was wonderful for distracting you, for helping contemplation, and for helping self-development. And so this seems to be so important in the direction that we should all be going at this time, to try to encourage those parts of ourselves that maybe will connect with deeper meanings, deeper things, provide avenues into discovery, lead you into faith. There's so many possibilities that come within that creative context, don't you think, Geraldine?
Yes, it's interesting actually, because all of our lives working as musicians, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners will be able to easily connect with this, but music can take you onto a completely different level. So although we might be struggling in many ways, particularly at this time, particularly during lockdown, if we can just find the headspace to lift ourselves onto this different level, and wherever that may take us, and if we can be part of that with the Hive, where we're providing a place where we can actually help people discover new things and find different levels of spirituality.
Absolutely. I can really, that really rings true. Occasionally I will play the piano, and if I sit down to play, because of my focus on the music, everything else kind of disappears. So it's an incredibly good way of relaxing sort of relatively quickly. If I've only got 5 minutes, it really does, it does really help kind of reset me. What will people be able to access through the Hive?
Well, the exciting thing is, it's strange because we're right at the very beginning, and then, of course, everything locks down. But that's good, because what we're doing is listening. We're just listening for what people need. And I think at the moment there's this wonderful drive. We're working on Pioneer Pathways for the Methodist Church, which is new places for new people. But we're also engaged with mission enablers for the Anglican Church. And we're engaged with this great drive, which is feeling that church is no longer, it's not only inside the traditional buildings, but it's something new, and that people are searching for something new.
Yeah, I think that a really important aspect here is collaboration. And we found that we've discovered new people to work with during this pandemic period. I mean, we've been working, as Geraldine has said, with the Anglican Church. We've been working also with Wild Church. We've been making music videos for lots of different people in lots of different places. And that sense of collaboration goes a little bit of way to making up for the fact that we've lost physical contact in so many ways.
And Kate, you were asking me about what we were hoping to present, and we're going to do, well-being is in so many different areas. And we've got someone who's working with us, Susan, who's going to do some yoga. We've got interest in dance. We've got many different areas. And of course, the exciting thing was, for the launch, we got 2 actors who came along to do recorded all the nativity for us.
Socially distanced.
Socially distanced and recorded in advance. And then we were able to use all our sort of skills of working in and outside theatre all our lives for lighting and things. So a real hive. This is why we've called it the Hive, a place of activity, a place of gathering, and a place of faith as well.
Lovely, lovely. It really sounds like there's something for everybody, and presumably complete beginners, people that may never have, tried yoga before.
Yes, it'll be open to everybody. That, of course, is a little further down the line because we're still not able to gather in person, but we have moved online, as everybody else has, and we've been running a little series of chats called Rummaging Through, where people can just talk about various topics. The one that's coming up this Thursday next week is about our mental health. That your brain is not just a collection of chemicals, and we're sort of encouraging people to talk about how their mood and their feeling and their mental health is going along during this difficult time. We've got a Facebook page which is called The Hive at Great Cressingham, and if anybody wants to find out more, they can email us at thehiveplace@gmail.com.
Lovely. So I'll just give that out again, thehiveplace@gmail.com.
That's the one.
Fantastic. It's lovely what you're saying about collaboration. It's not perhaps what you expect in a time where people are feeling a little bit more isolated, but it is, those communities really have come together, and what a perfect example of that you're actually working with people that you've never worked with before.
Yes, that's absolutely right. Geraldine mentioned the actors that we've been connected to. That was Geraldine, who's in Norwich, and Stephen Rimmer, who works at Westacre.
Wonderful.
So we hope we'll be able to do more with them in the future, and we'll be looking for poets, dramatists, all sorts of people.
Storytellers. It's just so exciting that it is at the beginning, and so yes, we'll welcome everybody to come and talk to us, and let's try something really exciting.
Superb. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's been lovely to speak to you, Geraldine Allen and Sarah Rodgers there.
BBC Sounds app, on your smart speaker,
play BBC Radio Norfolk,
and on your radio.
The sound of Norfolk is
BBC Radio Norfolk.